We're going to make this super cute Father's Day card. So to get started, we need some supplies, and those are some scissors, a pencil, a black marker crown or pencil crown, some glue, a tracer, a toilet paper tube works perfectly, so about that size, and then we need some paper. I have some pink, some light brown, some dark brown, some green, some white, and some black. So the first thing you should do is you want to take the color that you're going to use for the base of your card. So I'm going to move all my other pages out of the way and I'm going to use black for the base of my card. And the long part is left to right, short part is top to bottom. I'm going to fold over from left to right. So this, like I said, is going to be the base of my card. If you want another color, that is no problem. Choose the color you would like. There we go. So my card is ready. As you can see, it opens up beautifully, and then I'm going to set it aside. The next step, we are going to find our green piece of paper and our tracer. So I'm grabbing my pencil and my tracer. Now I'm using a toilet paper tube, but you can use whatever you have as your tracer, and this is going to be your head. So you just trace around, creating a circle, and once you have that circle shape, you are going to grab your scissors and you are going to cut it out. And this is going to, like I said, be your baby Yoda head. So once you have your head, you're now going to create some ears. And to do that, I like to just fold over my green piece of paper again. So I'm going to fold it over. And that way I can just draw once and cut once. So I'm putting my head beside my paper just to give the approximate size I want for my ears, and I'm going to go straight from the edge, so the fold line straight across, and then I'm going to curve around and down. So straight across, around, and down. And I have my circle beside just to see about the size I want for my ears. Once that's done, you're going to cut it out and then open it up and cut right on the fold line so you have your 2 ears. There we go. Now, you also want to do the same thing with the pink paper. I'm going to take my page of pink and fold it over again, grab my pencil, and I'm going to use my ear that I just cut out and use it as a tracer. So I'm just going to line it up, trace around it, and then I'm going to use that line and go just on the inside. So I'm going to create it again, go straight across, around and down, so it's a little bit smaller. So across, around and down, and you can see it's a little bit smaller. There you go, there's the large one, and on the inside is the smaller one. And we are actually going to cut on the smaller tracer. So you want this one to be the smaller portion, and then you're going to cut that out. So this will go inside your green ear, and then just snip in the middle. There you go, you're going to glue. So I'm going to glue the pink right inside my green ear, and that is creating the inside portion of your ear. Once that's done, you just put a tiny little bit of glue on the tip of the ear, so the flat part, the straight line, and we're going to glue them right in behind the circle. So grab your glue, put a little bit of glue on that flat portion, and just glue it coming in from behind your circle. And there you go, you have your head. Next thing we are going to do is to create our eyes. So I'm going to grab my white piece of paper, I'm going to fold it over, and then I'm going to grab my pencil and draw a circle. So this is going to be my eye, and because I folded, I draw once, cut once, and I am going to have 2 eyes. Once I have those, I am going to grab my black marker. I'm just going to use my pink page here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm covering most of that eye in black. So I'm just leaving a little bit of white. So covering it mostly in black, and there's just a tiny bit that I left in white. And then I'm going to glue that right on as my eyes. Grab my marker again, and I'm going to do an upside down U for my nose, and then a nice smile for my little face. There we go. Next stage of the game is to grab your dark brown piece of paper or whatever color you happen to have, and I'm going to put that right underneath my head just to give me about the size that I'm looking for my body. So there's my head, and around that, so down, I'm going to draw a straight line down, and I'm going to go across to the right and a straight line up. So around there, I am just creating a rectangle. So about the size that I want for my body. And once I have that, I am going to cut that out. And then I am going to fold that in half. So I'm just going to fold it over, and I just want to trim the edges. So just around those little edges, I just want to trim those corners. Just they're a little bit rounded. So just get rid of that tip on the corner. And once you are done, you're going to open, there you go, your tips are nice and rounded. You're going to open that back up. So that's going to be the body. Now we are going to use the extra portion of the paper we just cut out. So see how I have this little portion? I am going to just cut that right out. I'm going to use that for the arms. So I'm going to take that piece. See, it's going to go in here behind, but it's too big, so I'm going to fold it in half. Once I fold it in half, I have my fold line. I'm going to use that as my cut line, so I'm just going to cut. And now I have my two arms ready to go. I'm going to take those arms and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the tip, and I'm going to glue them in behind. So they're coming from behind, and just put them at whatever spot you think looks good and whatever length you want. You're going to do that to both sides. Once you have both of your arms on, you are going to move on to the next step, which is grabbing your lighter piece of brown, kind of like a beige color I have, and I'm just going to place my body right on top of it, take my pencil, and right from the one edge, I'm going to loop over to the other side. So I'm going to curve right over. So on the one side, I'm going to start, and I'm going to curve all the way over to the other side. So start on the left, curve all the way over to the other side, and then I'm going to remove that and just put my pencil on the left and come a little bit down on the left and a little bit down on the right, maybe about 1 centimeter, and then draw my line across. It's almost like a half a circle that I'm creating. I'm going to cut that out. Once that is cut out, I'm going to put a tiny little bit of glue right on the straight edge, so right where it's straight, not where it's curved, but right where it's straight, and then I'm going to glue that right on top of the outfit. Okay, so it is now ready for the next portion, which is the little cuffs on the arms. So I'm going to grab that same color again, and I'm going to use the arms to help me measure. So I've got the color, and here's the arm. I'm going to put the outfit right over top again. So I'm using this just to help me gauge what size I am going to create. And I'm going to just take my pencil and kind of go around the top and curve in. So I'm almost making a little bit of a rectangle with curved edges. So there's a rectangle with curved edges. There's no right or wrong here. You can always trim it after, but I'm going to fold my page so that I can only cut once. So I only have to cut once and draw once, and here we go. We will end up with two that are exactly the same. So as you can see, I've created that little mini rectangle. I'm curving the edges as I go, and then once that is complete, I will glue those on top. Now don't worry if it's not the right size. You can always trim them, but just double check before you glue. So I think I'm happy with mine. I'm going to put some glue on and just put it right near the end of where those sleeves are coming out. So both sides, and there we go. I'm happy with it. So I move to the next step, which is putting my head on top. So I put a little bit of glue right at the bottom, and I'm going to glue that right to the top. Everything seems to be coming along very nicely, but I need some hands. So let's grab that green piece of paper again, and we are going to measure some tiny little hands. To do that, all I'm going to do is fold over my page again. So I already have it folded here. I'll just fold it over again. I'm putting my arm right beside just so I can measure about what size. And I'm just kind of creating a little half circle again. So it's a little bit smaller, just a round. So I just curve around like a half circle. Looks to be about the size that I want. And I'm going to cut that out. Once I'm done cutting that out, I just open it up here and cut right in the middle so that I have two, and we're going to glue them on. Now when I'm putting glue on my piece, it's fairly small. You want to make sure that you are putting glue on the straight edge, so just that little straight line, and gluing it from behind. So I'm just putting it in behind the last piece that we glued down. Do that to both sides. And ta-da, we have our baby Yoda. Okay, now time to glue him onto the front of our card. All you're going to do is figure out where you want it to be placed. When you're happy with the placement, take some glue, turn it over, put that right on the back, and then you are ready to place him right on the card. Okay, just make sure you push down so it's secure. Now I'm going to grab some more of my white paper here, and I am going to put a top on so that I can put my message. And I'm just going to fold it in half, so it's about the right size, but I want to trim these edges. So I'm going to trim the edges just to round them off. You don't have to do this, but just makes it a little bit fancier. So I'm just going to trim, round off my edges. Then I'm going to grab some glue and put that on the back, glue it down, grab my pencil, write my message in pencil first, just to make sure that everything is spelt correctly, then grab my marker and go over top of it so that it pops and can easily be seen. And when I'm happy with my message and the way that it is decorated, ta-da, I have my card. Then when you open it up, you can create a white piece of paper that can go on the inside so you can write a message for your dad. I hope you enjoyed this craft. Thanks for joining me for Craft Club for Kids. Be creative and have fun.